I want to... God, the auto tapper is the biggest piece of shit. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are looking at a Vein Ripper deck. Now I have been trying to make this card work in Alchemy for a while, and I think I finally got there with this deck. So the reason that I'm finding this card difficult is that it costs 6, it's 3 and 3 black for a 6/5 Vampire Assassin. It is Mythic, but that is because it is awesome. It has flying, and it has Ward, Sacrifice a creature. And as if that's not cool enough, it has whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So if they target your Vein Ripper with Destroy, they have to sacrifice a creature, triggering that effect. When Vein Ripper himself dies, the effect triggers. So even to kill this with a flat up Destroy spell, they're going to be a 4 life swing, or 8 life swing. And if they block this to kill it, it's going to be even more than that. Because the thing that they block it, no, it won't. It'll be the same if they block it with one thing, but the chance of them having a 5 power flying blocker for this thing is unlikely. So this is my kind of thing that I want to build around, and even though I'm building around it, I'm only running 3 because it is so expensive. But so I figured, what do I want to pair with this card to make it work well? In my head, this is what I'm thinking. I want a way of sweeping my opponent's creatures with a destroy effect, so it rules out Sunfall. Now I considered a black-white type effect, so I could run the new 4 costing Destroy All spell, but I actually am a bit sick of black-white, so I thought I would pair it with the Spiteful Banditry, which is the 2 costing X enchantment, which is basically a red version of Meat Hook, except whenever our opponent's creatures die, they don't lose life, but we gain a treasure. So this also can help us ramp into Vein Rippers, because one of the problems with this card is that it costs 6, so having a little bit of a treasure producer can be nice. This is also nice against the kind of go-wide decks that you do see around on the Alchemy ladder. Not to mention that it gives us a way of sweeping the board for our Vein Ripper later. Now, the nice thing about Banditry with Vein Ripper is that we can sweep it without killing the Ripper if we're not going to win. Also, because of the fact that Vein Ripper's effect is double-sided, it's whenever a creature dies, not a creature our opponent controls dies, so it does it to our own creatures as well. And then Spiteful Banditry is double-sided, so it damages our own creatures as well. So we can actually kill all of our own creatures and our opponent's creatures if it's going to tip us over the kind of win threshold with the Ripper's effect. And that's why I chose to include the Lord Skitter Sewer King. 3 of, because A, it gives us some graveyard interaction with our opponent, which I think is very important, but B, it's going to create these 1/1 rats each turn, which don't have loads of use in our deck aside from killing them with Banditry when we've got the Vein Ripper out. Now, one other use that we have for these rats is that I have included 3 times Pile On in the deck as a sort of removal spell, because I actually prefer this to go for the throat at the moment in a deck where you are sort of quite creature focused, because it gets rid of artifact creatures, of which there are a few around these days, and the Surveil too is super powerful, being able to sort of search through our deck for the things we need. And given that we kind of need a Vein Ripper for things to be going swimmingly, I really like this removal paired with Lord Skitter. I think it's like, if you're running Skitter, this is better than Go for the Throat in general. You do need some other creatures, but we have a few other creatures. So this was my kind of core thinking. What I have then gone with was 4 Mosswood Dreadknight. So this one sort of speaks for itself because it's a creature that can keep being cast from our graveyard effectively. And being able to sort of have that kind of recursive, grindy creature, 3/2 trample, that when it dies, they're going to lose 2 life, gain 2 life, as long as we have our Vein Ripper down. It's nice, and then it pairs well with Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Don't need any introduction there, but the sorcery adventure here, draw 1, lose 1 life, well, that's draw 1, gain 1 life if we have Sheoldred down. Sheoldred is just a powerhouse card, and in a deck like this where you're kind of playing like a grindy black effect, like this Vein Ripper effect, the grindy black effect on Sheoldred is perfect too. Not to mention that mono red is huge on the ladder in Alchemy, and Sheoldred is the bane of mono red. So this is where the deck's kind of fitting together. We're then running 4 of Llanoir Loamspeaker. I wanted to try this because A, it's been buffed so that it now makes 4/4 elemental creatures rather than 3/3s, and I think of being able to hit an opponent with a 4/4 land actually makes the scale a bit more into the late game than it used to do. But also, with our Vein Ripper, Sheoldred and Banditry, we kind of want to be able to play cards quite expensive relatively early on, so having a bit of ramp to add 1 mana of any colour is beneficial, and this as a mana producer has 3 toughness, which is quite important in games where we play this on turn 2, it lets us banditry for 2 on turn 3, so we can play this for 4 mana, doing 2 damage to all creatures. The Loamspeaker can stay alive, and this is actually a very relevant sweeping combination against our opponent's low level creatures, which then will give us treasures and allow us to ramp into our top end. So there's kind of a nice little bit of synergy going on between Loamspeaker, Sheoldred, Banditry, and Ripper, because Sheoldred's got high toughness, Ripper's got high toughness, so I'm really liking it. The one thing that's a bit of a nombo with Banditry is our 1 copy of Crucias. I don't know if this should be in the deck or not. We're running it there just because being able to discard and get treasure for Ripper is nice. If we have our 1 copy of this out and our opponent's struggling to remove it, it's going to find us the answers we need in this deck. So that's, you know, we'll see if this is good or bad. I am running 2 copies of Glissa Sunslayer as well, because it is a 3 toughness creature, which is not bad, similar to Lord Skitter. It gives us some enchantment removal, which is kind of why this is in the deck. We do have 2 copies of Tear Asunder, which mid-video I swap out 2 copies of Go for the Throat with 2 copies of Tear Asunder to just sort of grant us that bit of extra enchantment removal, but having that kind of threat that they have to get rid of is nice. It's also good against mono red and low curve creature decks, particularly things like the Legends creatures. This can be good against because being able to be basically a permanent blocker whilst we assemble what we need to assemble can be very, very helpful. As I mentioned, 2 Tear Asunders, because artifacts and enchantments are a huge part of the alchemy game with the One Ring, the Palantir of Orthanc hanging around, as well as other enchantments things, to be honest. Enchantment removal is still quite a popular way of removing stuff to Tear Asunders, and then 2 times Virtue of Persistence. Virtue of Persistence is really nice against mono red because of the life gain on the adventure, and then because of the type of deck we're running, we actually end up casting the 7 cost side quite a bit, and having some recursive way of bringing creatures back to then die in some way with Vein Ripper, or bringing back the Vein Ripper itself in the more grindy matchups, is actually a really, 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 really nice interaction. What is the last card? It is Darigaaz Shivan Champion. I struggle to play JUND decks without running this, rightly or wrongly. It's not the most played card on the ladder, but why do I like this? It's a 5/5 flyer for 5, which is kind of on curve, that's fine, but at the beginning of your end step, you conjure an egg onto the battlefield, so even if our opponent sweeps us with Sunfall, exiles the Darigaaz in any number of horrible ways, we still have this egg ticking down that's eventually going to come in. And those creatures that are coming in are pretty much all must removes, right? They're all things that are like 4/4, 5/5 flyers, whatever. So this is what I really like about this, is as long as it survives a turn, it's going to just sit there being an absolute pain, and it is a must remove for our opponent. Must remove creatures on top of Vein Ripper is exactly what we want. What we want is that our opponent has to remove our creatures and uses up all their removal by the time they get to Vein Ripper, where they then need more removal, because Glissa must remove, Sheoldred must remove, Darigaaz must remove. This is basically the train we're playing. So is Crucias. Up to Vein Ripper, and we can then start bringing all of our creatures back from the graveyard with Virtue. So this is like the way the deck is laid out. I am running 27 lands in this deck, so it is a land heavy deck because we do need to make sure we're always curving out up the curve here. We're running quite a lot of the dual lands because of the 3 colours, with a variety of Surveil and creature lands. Creature lands can be very important in this deck as well because it does tend to play out quite grindy with some of our opponents. So anyway, there's enough of me talking. I will have some games on the ladder. I think we're just out of the numbers in Mythic at the moment, so it could be some relatively competitive games hopefully, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, let's do this. Just about fallen out of the top, the numbered bits at the moment because of messing about with decks, so let's see if we can get back in there. Mono red, not really what I want to see with this opener, but Surveil, that is what we want. We do like those, especially for those. Get rid of that. Por favor. Scam. I mean, this is looking like a nice bit of banditry can happen here. Is they gonna sack it? Yeah. Okay, then we probably won't banditry just yet. We'll do this. And then banditry next turn and take out this 2/2 if they've removed Lord Skitter. Okay. Scamp could finish Lord Skitter, but Mono Red, give me a break. Red Meat Hook Massacre is here. Alright, number 174. Wish me luck. Okay. Thought it might be a bit of black-white control-y type bullshit, so... Edict. Give you some more stuff of mine to kill. Hit him with a portent or whatever else you got. Banditry probably less important in this game. And Loamspeaker. I really want to get that out of my hands so that they can't be made to discard it. Not much point in destroying that. Yeah. Oh well, we're out of stuff for you to interfere with our hand now. Not now. Okay, they're never going to want to give us that pile on back. They're less likely to be running Sunfall as well with this current setup, I would imagine. Really? Maybe they are running Sunfall then. Alright. They are, okay. At least we've got our pylon back. Yeah, we'll have another one of those. Getting stuff out of the graveyard is going to be helpful. Don't need another land. Yeah, that's fine for now. They've got Sheoldred for us to get. Start getting the value from this and then we'll deal with this. Oh yeah, that's a shame. God, the interference in black-white is just so strong. I do think this is one of the best decks in the format, but I can't be bothered to play it because it doesn't have any of the new cards in it, so... Then we can get the Peddler if we want it. And then something we can start attacking with. Okay, no it isn't. got to hope for no portent, but we have got a spare virtue. We'll happily block. Even if they get rid of that one, we've got another one. We've got our Restless Vents to cycle through any shit we don't need. Alright. And there's that Sheoldred gone as well. Pretty decent. It's a 2-turn clock if they can't deal with it. That's annoying. We don't really want to let them draw because they gain life. And they can try and draw something that gets rid of the virtue. So we will just lose life. Let us do Dollmaker on that, just to reset it back. That's a nice card. You can attack with both. Real squeeze play for them. Because if the peddler dies, they still lose 2 more life. We'll play one of these out. What you got? What's your last card? One of the best decks in the format? In the dumpster. We love those grinding matchups. Those are the ones we love. Alright. Finished what was a very successful one. Again, this is not the hand we want against mono red, but good against everything else, so I'm just going to say that given our opponent's on 89%, it's probably not mono red. Just because mono red tends to hover in the like high 90s somewhere. But maybe they dropped to this point and decided to try and climb with red. We never know. We'll never know. Oops. Whoop. Good job, I wanted to keep. Oh. I seem to have broken the game. Still gonna be browser. Okay, whoops. Well, at least I can always go and check my starting hand. Esper, eh? Esper life gain. Well, we've had a slow start. I feel like the banditry will come in useful. As may Glissa. We'll go Glissa first for the pressure of being able to kill the feast. I assume they've got removal for this, but I've never seen this bug before. Very odd. It doesn't display your current hand, it actually displays a snapshot, which is seems really bizarre to me. Would have expected it to just show what you currently have. That's pretty nice. even though we're going to miss a land drop, we get rid of the priest, we get rid of the enchantment. Our board state is starting to look very good. Yeah. What is this? Quick creature gets +2/+2 and sacrifice it, gain 3 life, that's food. And when it's been to graveyard, I pay 2 if you get 2 dogs. Okay. Let's throw that and say lesser so we can find a land. Got lots and lots of value for going forwards, so I think we're in a pretty nice place at the moment. Yeah, another enchantment, and a priest. Gonna be a 3/3. Good job we found that land. We'll probably play our 5-drop, so let's attack. Or maybe we should kill the priest while we can. They're trying to protect that case. Alright, yeah, we'll kill the priest. And play this. I don't really want to get rid of anything. This is like the perfect hand. Especially all these low toughness creatures. Banditry is good. Skitter, it's a one-off legend, and this thing gets stuff back from the graveyard, so it's arguably decent. This is never bad, and then this is our own game, so you can even afford a virtue. Not that they have much we want in there, but interesting. Another enchantment bites the dust. Let's put this in and start ticking some eggs, just for fun. Who doesn't like to crack the Darigaaz eggs? Static net. Okay. Interesting. The Glissa coming into their own here. Ooh, Sheoldred Sun. Not sure that it's the best use in this deck, but I'll have an Elas. We'll do 1 damage with our banditry. Yeah. That one didn't look like it was ever in doubt. Alright. Quite the opposite hand. We've been on the draw quite a lot, and actually faring okay though, because it's quite a good reactive deck, it feels. Opponent's mulliganed, and again, doesn't look good for them. Is this, does this mean this is the deck they're playing, the green-black one? We shall see. Black-white. No, don't think we want events. God, these surveil lands are so good, aren't they? That is definitely what we want. Let's go for Rampy. Oh, is this a Legends deck? No. Okay, we can use this up on our shitty creatures. Happy with that. Oh, it is a Legends deck, just with the Portent in it. Good, got some removal, which it looks like we're gonna need, because this could be the turn of whatever his name is, Joda. Nope, the end. We're gonna lose the Dreadknight in our hand, but at least we'll draw a card. How many Dreadknights do we even run? We do run 4, okay. I built this deck a short while back and I've only just sort of got around to recording it, so I couldn't remember the exact contents of it, but it's a really fun deck, man. Lots going on, lots of interesting stuff to do. Of course I drew a land and a land. Do we just jam Vein Ripper? I think we do. Maximum value out of Pylon, or if they have to sack their halfling, it's going to set them back because they're out of lands. So they could target the Ripper with a Portent, sack the halfling. Lily ain't going to do it.
Enough with the mysteries.
We will sack our Loamspeaker for 2 damage. Gotta hope we find a creature. God. Let's pile on this. I don't know if they've got 2 Lilianas, but if they have, that sucks for us because it's a free kill on Ripper, but because I can't power up the vents, is what I was thinking. It would have been nice to hold and see if we could power up vents to stop any more killing of Ripper, but what's the odds they've got a second Lily in the top 10? Not good. Okay, they get a Lily or a land. What are they going to go for? You should go for the land. Don't screw yourself further to try and get rid of Ripper. They are. Ah, they have. Okay. So if we play this, we can play this and then power up vents if we need to sack something else. Oh, to be honest, we can even power up Cottage, which I'd rather not. I'd rather use the vents to get rid of these lands. Interesting. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So if we power this up, we can still have 4 lands if we play the Crossroads. And we can potentially draw a creature. Nope. They must see this coming, eh?
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows. Off you go.
Yeah. Nice. Nearly back in the top 12. Alright. So number 742. Good. On the draw again, man. How many times have we been on the draw? We haven't really got anything to do with this. It's sort of a 6 card hand, but against mono red, this 1 pain land as well, so also black could be bad. But we've got a Virtue and Go for the Throat, and then a Glissa, so we've actually got pretty decent options. Interesting that they chose to put the. Let's just get rid of this. And then we got to go go for the throat in this. You gonna attach a Wicked Roll token again? No. Decided that's a bad idea. Monstrous Rage. Witch's Mark. They like the Wicked Roll tokens. Give them that. Could play Dreadknight, but odds are they can remove it. This is a nicer blowout against something like a Monstrous Rage, so no Monstrous Rage, but take 1 damage to get rid of a persistent 2 threat, then take 1 extra damage. Yeah. Sheoldred? It's basically the nemesis of mono red, right? If they use all their burn to kill it, it sucks. If they don't kill it, we gain life, that sucks. I want them to play some creatures so I can banditry. Ah. Mono red. This is the best thing about this deck, is you just don't lose to mono red. Okay. It's been a pretty successful one so far. Maybe I should have been playing this deck more often. City of Brass. City of Brass. This hand could be slow. I don't know what they're playing, but we haven't got any 2-drops. Out of the 10 in the deck, but let's see. We can always draw one. Blue, black. Interesting. I'm guessing this is going to have white added to it. Lorien revealed. This is going to be, yeah, there's the white. We want to keep digging so we don't keep drawing lands or things we've already got in our hand. Let's keep digging. Jesus, there's a lot of land. A lot of land. That's pretty painful. This is already looking difficult to overcome. Very strong, isn't it? This island cycling with the new lands. Black? Yeah. Okay, have something to push back into my hand. Yeah. We know exactly what this deck is, and it is the kind of thing that is going to beat JUND, unfortunately. It's going to have Sunfalls, rings, reprieves, counters. They always have. Whenever you play against any deck that's running reprieve, they always have all their reprieves in their opening hand. They never didn't have their reprieves. There's the counter. They're going to have to play a 1 ring eventually. Lord Skitter, the Sewer King. Let's get rid of the reprieve. Got no desire to just play a Sheoldred directly into a counter. Come on, man. 38 life. problem is, if they do just have Sunfall, like, what are we doing? We can't see any Sunfalls, but they're there. If it's Destroy All, then Vein Ripper is cracked here, but it's not. It's Exile All. No advantage to playing out anything else whilst our board is growing naturally. Interesting. Didn't kick it either. Surveil again. That's a nice one. Sheoldred. Yeah. Okay. More expensive isn't necessarily a problem at this stage. Got a lot of land. Opponent's back down to a mere 30 life. Can we draw? We can. We'll play it. We can. Damn it. Wish we had the Vein Ripper down. So they are running no witnesses, interesting. Pay 5, permanents you control again, indestructible, okay. We'll draw. Restless Cottage is going to be helpful. That's less helpful. Draw. Okay. This could still be useful to kill our own creatures for Vein Ripper later. So they can... only as a sorcery, fine. Let's play this Vein Ripper if we can. Since it basically has hexproof. Okay, gone through a lot of those things. We have a very slight card advantage now. But as soon as they do get a One Ring, assuming they're playing it, we will be in trouble. Are you going to sack all 3 of these lands to summon that thing? Soul Partition. I'm amazed you don't want to keep that. Okay. Come on. Thank God. So they can pay 5 and give this indestructible. Save us 4 damage and they take 2. Gives us another dude to draw. They have to keep 5 mana and they've only got 8, so well they've got 9 now. We've got so much land. Okay, nice. Kill that. Chuck the banditry. More Dreadknights is nice there. Oh, we've even come through another Esper deck. This is going well, man. Alright, number 22. It's getting harder and harder. Oh, we're actually going first there. We're going first. No, not so good when you're going first. Red, black. Alright, let's get our Dreadknight and let's get threatening. Red, black, white. What is going on here? What is going on here? Yeah, we want a Vein Ripper. Poor Crucias getting bibbed. Getting lost. One ring. Yeah. At least we'll get an egg out of Darigaaz. They're going to be running Sunfall, judging by the rest of the cards in the stack. But they're using it to get rid of that, so that's okay. Okay, we'll get black. Yeah, I love a Sheoldred. Don't know what they could have to bring it back, but thought that might be another Sunfall. Lightning Helix, not another Sunfall. Vein Ripper it is. They had a perfect Sunfall opportunity. So let's see if this pops. If they pop a Sunfall with their one ring, or off the top, then we're in trouble. Alright. Not the end of the world. Cost them 4 life, we gain 4 life, and we get 2 more map tokens. Okay, 2 more damage. 12, 7. Yeah, get rid of the Sheoldred, good idea. If we top a land, I'm just going to jam this Virtue as a 7-drop. They've used 2 Get Losts already. And we want to get the Vein Ripper back before they get a chance. Bone Dragon. Oh man, the Vein Ripper's here. They actually took the Virtue. Interesting. I think we go with this for now, right? Make it so they can't play their Virtue. And now they've got to kill Sheoldred before they can tap their ring. If they tap the ring, they're gonna die. Okay, they got Sunfall. That sucks. We must have another ring to be doing that. Because they own 1. Yeah, tap it, then play 1. I mean, they couldn't play a Sheoldred first, which is nice. They can't target Vein Ripper. We have no manlands, curiously, which would be ideal in this situation, but they can't tap their ring. It's just for indestructible, right? They can't tap it until they've played a Sheoldred. Peddler's not going to help you a lot. I don't really want to play more than 1 creature here. Because there's almost certainly a Sunfall in their hand. Is there a way out for our opponent? Maybe. There's Glissa gone. So how many Sunfalls are we down? 1, 2, 3. 3 Sunfalls. Only 1 left in this fucking deck. Can't be that many ways of exiling frickin' creatures. That will do. I will jolly well take that. These Vein Rippers really squeeze, don't they? They really squeeze. Come on. Can you just not have a Sunfall? Okay, a way of gaining life. Now you don't have to have a Sunfall. You just have any way of exiling my Ripper. Because then you can just pay 2 once. Interesting. I wouldn't have put it on top if it didn't get rid of this Vein Ripper. Okay, they would if it gains life. Oh man, they actually have. They actually found the medicine. I find that unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do we have any manlands yet? Still none. Okay, They now could stabilize by playing a Sheoldred, tapping their ring, playing another ring. Virtue. Yeah, there's a Vein Ripper for them to get. More flankers. Where the hell are all my man lands? This. Okay. Well, there's one. Not looking good for us now. God, we got unlucky here though. I think there's lots of things I could have drawn that would have solved this for me earlier. Good game. Alright. I just about recovered after that last one. This is no good. No black land. Can never get put Sheoldred on the bottom though. It's just too good. What are we against? Blue, white, anchorage. I don't know. This could be control. Could be soldiers. Phyrexian Knight. No wiser. We will play our Loamspeaker. Definitely looks creature related. 7/6. Okay. That's one thing that could happen. I mean, yeah. Okay. We can't even go for the throat this thing. No, you piece of shit. Why would you tap my only mother? I wanna. God, the auto tapper is the biggest piece of shit in the world. Okay. Let's try again. I had a bit of a mare the last game. Fine. Gonna have to put this on green so we can play our Dreadknight. Surveil 1. Maybe we should draw with this. Since we don't have a land. Got one now. No. Can we not do whatever we're doing here? Unsummon? What is it, a retro deck? Okay. You can scry once. Interesting choice to put this back in our hand. What is going on with this deck? It's control. Surely not going to use more cards out of your hand already. Alright. We'd have so many cards in our hand against the control deck, but yeah, there's always the one ring to turn that around. Let's get Glissa in. Black Lotus. This deck's also been around for years. Why is everyone playing these old decks? I mean, not with Unsummon. That's... I guess so you can target your own Oracle. I hope that's not your only win con, because got quite a good answer to that one. Rid of it, just in case it is the win con. Recycling that shit. Seen it before. Okay. Just jam this. This surely just... How does this win? Is it just more White Sun's Twilights? Maybe they're also running that lock whale thing. Okay, they've got an answer for Virtue, it's a shame. They kicked it. 4, 5, yeah. Ay. This is what I get for not running Tear Asunder 4 of main deck. Look, it's all artifacts and enchantments these days. That's going to be where our weakness is. Shuffle all of them. Yeah, Black Lotus has gone back in. I got no desire to play against this. I just don't have the desire. Okay. Tried subbing out the 2 go for the throats for 2 Tear Asunders, so see if that makes any difference to our win rate, because with some of these decks it's like linchpin on the 1 ring and, you know, or the 3 costing 1, and I think just getting rid of those odd things could be enough to swing games. Since we've got the Virtues and the Banditries and the Pylons to get rid of creatures, I think it's a pretty safe-ish bet. We like playing against creature decks. Creature decks tend to go well for us. Orator. Let's do this for 2, because we get the treasure. And then we can play Darigaaz next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even with this tap land. And make our opponent deal with this. This, into this, into this. Or Vein Ripper. It is incredible. veteran. I don't really want to, but while it's not too big, it does get us another treasure. We can hit them for 4. There have been worse outcomes. Next turn we can do both if we have to, as long as this kills a creature. We can just flat up Virtue and take a Siege Veteran. I'd rather get the Darigaaz down though, it's more fun. Lots of life gain happening here. You're gonna ossify my Loamspeaker. Cretin. So we've got 6, so we can still do this. Get the treasure. Play the dragon. Watch them cry. Watch them cry that they use their ossification on a 1/3 elf. Probably got another one. This is the beauty of these. Like, if it ends up in the state where no one's got any cards in hand and you jam a Virtue, you just win, right? Horn of Gondor. Ah! That's nice. Gonna have a lot of life gain. Gonna have to hope these eggs can counteract it. Plus the Shelly. Bang. Might need another banditry at some point. Alright, pretty good with the Shelly down. Vane Ripper pretty good against this situation as well. Soon the eggs are gonna start hatching, baby. But the human's army is growing, and it is gaining more life every turn. Yeah, what? What? I don't want this shit. Ay, 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 ay. We need some way of getting rid of this shit. We could deal it 1 damage safely. In fact, if we just board wipe ourselves, we win next turn. Now that we got the Ripper down, it won't matter that we're going to take 5 from Vindicator. What do we got? There we go. There's the safer answer. Back to how it should be. And 12-16, that'll do. Alright, stats time. So, have played a lot of games with this deck now, just over 40 something, and they're all in the Mythic range somewhere. 67% win rate is pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, things that we are struggling with are traditional control colours like blue-white, and Mardu in Alchemy is unfortunately control as well. Things that we're doing good against mono red, and then everything else. So I mean, I would say this deck is decent. The fact that we can compete pretty heavily with the Orzhov, Porkine Portent type control decks is really nice. The fact that it can win on the draw is nice. In fact, we're actually winning more on the draw. Some bizarre statistical turn of events there. But yeah, having a nearly 70% win rate and running fun cards like Vein Ripper, Glissa, Spiteful Banditry, this makes it worth running for me. I'm really enjoying this deck and having a great time. It's relatively consistent as well because of the high land count and sort of the four copies of Banditry, Loamspeaker and Dreadknight. You actually have a relatively regular curve out from the start, which is really nice. That's enjoyable when you can predictably beat like the mono red decks and things like that. It has also been something that I've been improving throughout the different versions, although apparently the first version had the best win rate. I have been slowly improving it. I think the Tear Asunders are going to perform a lot better than the Go for the Throats. And yeah, they're still open to some tweaking of the different numbers and stuff. Maybe we can remove our one copy of Crucias and add in something else, maybe another Tear Asunder or whatever. I'm just going to play it out a bit more. The other thing I think with this deck is that it could work well as a best of 3 deck. I think it's already competing well against the kind of grindy decks that you find in that format. And there are lots of decent sort of sideboard options for this deck with the sort of Tear Asunders, having a bit more low curve removal for certain decks, having more sort of artifacts and enchantment interaction of other kinds, even running our own Bowmasters or something to counter the One Ring. So I think there's lots of decent sideboard options for this deck. So I might try putting together a best of 3 and grinding up the ladder a little bit with that. But thanks very much for watching, those who have stayed to the end. This is the kind of video I like to make because it's fun cards as well as being half decent. So hope you enjoyed it too, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.